the Liberal Party is representative of the country as a whole, and that's a good thing. But the Liberal Party is also the party of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And with our votes, we will defend that charter. And that's what every Liberal who walks into this House of Commons needs to understand. And do understand that in the matter of defending women's rights, our votes are clear. We defend the charter.
Justin Trudeau went further than any Liberal leader in the past, declaring future Liberal candidates have to vote pro-choice. Now he's being criticized by the clergy, and the choir is growing to include their flock, while Trudeau seems to be making up the charter as he goes along. I'm joined now by Mike Shooten from We Need a Law. Thanks for being here, Mike.
It's good to be here, Faith.
So Justin just said that he defends women's rights, which I think he means abortion, which allegedly is in the charter. So if it's in the charter, why do we need a law?
Well, there's so many things that are troubling about Justin Trudeau's comments. And in fact, that's just one of them. The charter does nothing to give or grant Canadian women a right to abortion. In fact, the 1988 Supreme Court decision, as many Canadians are referring to now because of the national conversation that's going on, it actually instructed Parliament to enact legislation that would protect preborn humans. Not only is Justin Trudeau misinterpreting the charter, he actually sits quite opposite his own father when it comes to interpretation of the charter, specifically as it refers to abortion. His own father referred to the notwithstanding clause as something that could be used if Section 7 and 15 were referred to in granting Canadian women a right to abortion. So, yeah, his own father probably would not be welcome to run as a candidate in Justin Trudeau's party. But that's just one of the things that is very troubling about his comments. I must say, though, that it is positive because we see a national conversation happening. And what Canadians are seeing is that not only are politicians, but the extreme faction of the pro-abortion movement are completely out of touch with Canadians when it comes to this issue, as many people right across our country from all sides of the political spectrum are questioning the status quo and are asking, why do we actually sit with only North Korea and China when it comes to countries in the world that afford no protections whatsoever for children before birth?
I'm right there with you, Mike. I mean, I welcome this debate on abortion because apart from the fact that any scientific developments in the past 400 years since when we defined human life within our own constitution, that's from where our definition comes up, all that science is pro-life science. But I mean, quite apart from that, you look at progressive nations like Sweden or Germany, they've all got laws. There's none of this business of all 9 months. It's free game to abort a fetus whenever you want. But I want to pick up on something news made today. Nick Nanos, he's a well-known pollster here in Canada. He said, look, this is going to work out in favor for Justin Trudeau. In fact, he's going to be able to poach some votes rather from the NDP based on this. In your opinion, Mike, is this abortion extremism, is it a net win or a net loss for Justin Trudeau's Liberals?
Well, I have a lot of respect for Nick Nanos and the work that he does, but I do think that it's not going to work out favorably for Justin Trudeau. And this is one of the reasons why. Justin Trudeau consistently says he believes that it's a woman's right to choose. And he even has a petition website now where he says, "Stand with Justin. I support a woman's right to choose." More and more, we're seeing the conversation in our country transferring to choose what? The right to choose is an incomplete statement. Choose is what we call a transitive verb, and it needs to refer to something. And Canadians are starting to talk about what it refers to. And what it refers to when Justin Trudeau says, "I believe in a woman's right to choose," is he's supporting the fact that Canada doesn't have any protections, that in 2009, for example, there were nearly 10,000 abortions in our country between 13 and 20 weeks. Abortions at that stage are something that we might not want to talk about on this program. They disgust Canadians, and Canadians are starting to question the status quo and call more and more for limitations on abortion and the protection not only of children before birth, but of women and families who are suffering because of a lack of legislation, a lack of information surrounding this very sensitive topic.
Oh, I'm happy to have you discuss these very topics on this show, just so you know, Mike. And I'm happy that we are having this debate because there's so much information that your average voter doesn't know. And while there are, yes, single-issue pro-life voters, there are many people who say, it doesn't really matter either way you dice it. But is this something that should matter to every Canadian? What is the current sad state of affairs here in Canada? What should your average voter know going to the polls about abortion legislation within this country?
Well, they should know that leaders and parties who are not going to entertain any notion of pro-life legislation are supporting abortions, like I said, 10,000 of them in 2009, which occurred through a process called dilation and extraction. At this point of development, the baby is too large to simply suction out, so the bones, the head, need to be crushed in order for the baby to be removed from the pregnant mother. This is something that countries around the world have legislation to prevent because it's barbarity. And it's something that happens in our country. It's something we have in common with only North Korea and China, two nations that not many Canadians look to for a laudable human rights record. So as the injustice of abortion is discussed more and more and becomes part of the national conversation, it will become an election issue. And I certainly hope that Nick Nanos is proven wrong and that it does become detrimental to Justin Trudeau's campaign and he loses votes over it.
Mike, we're going to have to leave it there. God bless you for your work and giving a voice to the unborn. We do appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Faith.